better than they gave it to you. Come on, there you go. There you go. Now stick your hands straight up in the air and say, I am ready. One more time, I am ready. All right, great job. Well, would you please stay standing and let me introduce our next speaker. He's attorney William Bronchick, who is one of the most respected names in real estate investing business. You may have seen him on television shows such as CNBC or seen his name mentioned in prestigious publications such as the Wall Street Journal, Investors Business Daily, and USA Today. Mr. Bronchick has been practicing as a real estate lawyer and an active real estate investor for more than 15 years, and having been involved in over 1,000 transactions. He is one of the few gurus who actually walks his talk by still actively investing in profitable real estate transactions. Get ready to learn some more powerful money-making real estate strategies. Would you please give a rock star welcome to Mr. William Bronchick?
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. It is great to be here. Let me start by asking you a very simple question. How many people here came here to get motivated and create more financial success? Let me hear you. Not bad. This time I want to hear the people way at the top. More financial success. Let me hear it. All right, great. I know I can help you do that. Today I'm going to show you how you can create financial success and change your life through real estate investing. Now, take out a pen and paper because I'm going to share some very powerful ideas that I know will work for you. Now, I've been a practicing real estate attorney for over 15 years, but most of my income these days is not from my law practice. It's because of the lucrative real estate investments I've made. And now my law practice has become a part-time profession. So when I take on new clients, it's because I want to, not because I have to. And that's a great place that you want to be in your business. Now, a lot of people think attorneys make a lot of money. My starting salary out of law school was only $27,000 a year. And in many real estate transactions, I've made 4 and 5 times that, and I know many of you will have the same experience as well. Now, when I wanted to get started, when I started out of law school, I wanted to become the best that I could be. So I started studying other successful people in my field, and I came up with what I call the 95-5 rule. In every profession, there's the top 5%, and then there's everyone else. Isn't that true in your business? There's the top 5%, and then there's just everybody else who's just average and ordinary in their business. In fact, I also found that the 95-5 rule applies to your retirement. According to the government statistics, at age 65, 5% of people will retire wealthy. The other 95% are going to retire dead or dead broke, still working, relying on Social Security, or relying on their family for financial support. People are struggling to get by in America and retiring on a median income of $23,000 a year. Folks, can you imagine trying to live your retirement on less than $2,000 a month? And imagine what it'll be like 10 years from now at the current rate of inflation. Now, I know a lot of you have heard these statistics before, and if I ask you, who wants to be a 5%er, you'd all raise your hand. But the more important question I want to ask is, what are you doing about it? What specific steps are you going to take to ensure, to guarantee you're going to be in that top 5% when you retire? Now, the first thing you have to do is figure out what are the other 95% doing, and then do exactly the opposite. What are the 5% doing that they're getting wealthy? Well, when I started asking financially successful people in my business, they all said the same thing: leverage. Almost every top 5 financially successful attorney I spoke with made a good living at their job, but they got wealthy by taking that money and leveraging it through investments like real estate. And if you talk to every top 5 professional in your business that's wealthy, they'll tell you the same thing: leverage, using other people's money to make money. And the 95% haven't figured this out yet. They're still trying to get rich the old way. This is what they're doing. Take $10,000 and put it into a CD at 5%. After 1 year, you got $500. Not too bad, right? But then you pay taxes on it, $200, and then inflation at 3%, you're left with nothing. It is mathematically impossible, folks, to save your way to wealth in this manner. It cannot be done. So why are people still doing it? It's very sad when you see people working into their 60s and late into their 70s because they have to. And they invested in CDs when you were your age, and look where it got them. They think that saving in CDs is a safe investment. It's not. It's a safe way to go broke. So let's take that same $10,000 and invest it in real estate. We put $10,000 down on a piece of well-selected real estate worth $100,000, borrow $90,000 using leverage. Now remember here, it has to be a piece of well-selected real estate. Before you can invest in real estate, you must learn the rules. And one of those rules is you must learn to buy real estate wholesale, not retail. The average person pays retail. You're smarter than that. You're going to learn how to buy wholesale. The first property that you buy wholesale, you'll create instant equity. So back to our example. Let's say you have a property, $100,000, you put $10,000 into it. It goes up just 5%. What's the return on your investment? It's not 5%, it's 50%. That is the power of leverage. Once you learn to master this principle, you will have a higher and better standard of living and retire better than 95% of other people. And here's the icing on the cake. You don't pay taxes on real estate until you sell it. And even then, there are strategies that we will show you where you can make tens of thousands of dollars every year on April 15th. You will pay no taxes, legally, ethically, and morally. And trust me, folks, I'm a lawyer, and it's very rare I can guarantee more than one of those three things. So how can real estate work for you? What can real estate do for you? Real estate can provide you with an early retirement. For many of you, 10 to 15 years earlier. Real estate provides a steady stream of income month after month, and the great thing is it's one of the few investments where inflation works to your advantage. What happens when inflation goes up? Your properties go up, your rents go up. So you'll not only have an earlier retirement, you'll have a prosperous retirement. Real estate can also provide you with large checks right now. See, a lot of people think the only way to make money in real estate is to buy it, hold it a long time, wait for it to go up in value, and then sell it. That's only one of many ways. I'm going to show you how you can buy real estate and sell it sometimes in a matter of months and even weeks for large checks right now. If you have credit card debt or a mortgage you want to pay off early, it's really helpful when you can make $25,000 to $50,000 or more in the next few months. Real estate has huge tax benefits. Write this down. There is no other investment in America that has such generous tax breaks as real estate. Did you realize that you can buy and sell a property for $100,000 profit or even more? Buy another property and pay no taxes, and you can do this over and over and over again. There's no other investment that provides these tax breaks. And the sad thing is that so many people are trying to earn more income by working more hours. And the system is set up so it penalizes wages. Wages are taxed at the highest rate. Real estate is an investment. It is taxed at a much lower rate. And when you learn to master these tax loopholes legally, you're going to retire in the top 5%. And here's the best thing about real estate. It works even when you don't. We're going to show you how to set up real estate on autopilot so it brings in money whether or not you come to work. And that, my friends, is true financial independence. And if true financial independence is what you're looking for, you're going to want to attend our 3-day real estate training that we're going to do right here in your town. I'll tell you about the dates in a little bit. But let me share a few of those ideas, so take out your pen and paper again. The first tip is learn to buy, fix, and flip. This is a tremendous strategy because it works in any real estate market. Let me say that again. It works in any real estate market. Some people are afraid to invest in real estate because of all that talk in the media about the bubble. Now, experienced investors like me find that amusing because all it does is scare away all the fish and create lots of competition for us. But here's the real deal. The best deals that you can find in real estate are when everyone else is dooming and glooming. When the market goes up, that's great. You get appreciation. But when the market is down, real estate's on sale. Would you rather buy real estate retail or wholesale? Let's try that again. That wasn't a trick question. Let's try it again. Retail or wholesale? Wholesale, of course. Of course. We're going to show you strategies you can even buy below wholesale. You know, this reminds me of Eric, one of the students from our training. Every time he would email me about the deals he's working on, he's become very successful. He'd always ask me the same question. How can I make this work for me? How can I make this work for me? Isn't that a great way of looking at things? Say that with me, if you will. How can I make this work for me? So if you think that the market is going up in your area, what do you ask? How can I make this work for me? If you think that the market is going down in your area, what do you ask? How can I make this work for me? It doesn't matter whether the market is going up or down in your local market. Once you learn the principles of successful real estate investing, you can profit in an up, flat, or down market. In the last 5 years, I've been working my market in Denver, Colorado. It has been flat, and I've made more money in the last 5 years than I made in the first 10 years when everything is booming, and that's what we're going to show you how to do at our workshop. This is a fix and flip property I did, and this needed a little bit of work on the inside. In fact, it had no inside. Had no doors, it had no walls, it had no plumbing, had no electric, had no kitchens, had no bathrooms. You open the front door and there was the back door. And there's a little problem though. These hands only get dirty in the kitchen. I don't know how to do fix-up, so I asked the question. What's the question? How can I make this work for me? So I hired people who could fix it up. So I bought it for $55,000. I put $27,000 in fix-up, sold it for $108,000, took home a check of $26,000. Ladies and gentlemen, I know that you can do 2 to 3 of these deals a year. And imagine how quickly you can pay off your home mortgage once you learn how to do it. Anyone here could learn to do 2 to 3 of these deals a year. And you don't need to learn how to fix houses. What you need to learn how to do is find, negotiate, and finance properties, and that's what we're going to show you how to do at our training. Now, here's another insider tip. Learn to profit from foreclosures. Interest rates are going up. What does that mean? That means people are getting a statement in the mail that says pay an extra $250 a month, and then they look at their check and say, well, I didn't get an extra $250 a month. And as a result, we're going to have record number of foreclosures. But here's a secret. The banks don't want to take all these properties back. They can't. Write down these 3 letters, folks. REO. It stands for real estate owned. The feds are watching the banks, and if they have too many foreclosures on their books, they can get in a lot of trouble. So they're willing to take a huge discount and negotiate what they're owed right now. See, most people don't know how to profit from foreclosures, so they call up a bank, and they say, I'd like to speak to your foreclosure department. And they say, I'm sorry, we don't have any foreclosures, and then they hang up on you. Why? Because they figure you're an amateur. Banks don't have foreclosures. They don't look at it that way. They have non-performing assets. That's an interesting way to parse it, isn't it? But that's the way they look at it. So everyone who's been to our training knows you call up banks, you don't ask for the foreclosure department, you ask for their loss mitigation department. Do you see how you can profit once you learn what to do? This is Mike, one of the students of our training. And he found a seller where the bank was owed more on the property than the property was actually worth. And the seller saw that as a problem, but Mike asked the question, how can I make this work for me? And as a result, he called up the bank, he negotiated a discount and flipped the property without doing any work for $31,000 in profit. And this was very exciting because we not only helped someone make money, but changed their life. Mike is now a full-time real estate investor and really enjoying life. And for most of our students, it's not about the money. It's about changing their lives. I don't care how much money you make. If you don't enjoy what you do, then you're not a success. Imagine instead what you want your life to be like. Imagine what you want your vacations to be like. Imagine what you want your retirement to be like. Whatever your dreams are, I know we can help you achieve those goals through real estate investing. Insider tip number 3. This is an interesting one. Buy low, sell low. That sounds unusual, doesn't it? Because most people teach buy low, sell high. We do things a little different. The reason we teach buy low, sell low is if you buy a property and you sell it quickly at just a little bit of markup, you sell it quickly, you make a healthy profit, and you move on to the next deal. If you get greedy and you try to hold out for full retail price, you could lose money, couldn't you? This reminds me of one of our students, Marco. Marco was working full-time, and so was his wife, and they decided to have kids, so they went from a 2-income family to a 1-income family. That's pretty common these days, right? People go from a 2-income family to a 1-income family. Many of you might have been through that scenario. So Marco attended our training, and as a result, he found this property. It was worth $450 with some fix-up. It was showing poorly. He bought it as is for $290. Now, he could have held out for full price, but instead, he flipped it quickly to someone who was willing to do the work and live in it. He left a little on the table for someone else, and as a result, he sold this property in a matter of hours for a $77,000 cash profit. And here's the kicker, folks. That $77,000 was about what his wife made in an entire year of working at her job. Let me ask you a question. How many of these do you think you need to do a year to change your financial picture? A whole lot. Insider tip number 4, buy ugly. Marry pretty, buy ugly. Nice properties are nice to live in, but ugly is where the money is at. Who do you think makes more money? Saks Fifth Avenue or Walmart? Walmart, of course, because there's big money in low-income customers, and the same principle applies to real estate. And some people just can't get past the ugly property. We're going to change that way of thinking in our training. You're going to learn to appreciate the fine scent of cat urine. Take a whiff. Smells like profit. Here's an ugly little house I bought. It was a college rental. I call it Animal House because I rented it to some college students who treated it like a frat house. They trashed the place. We evicted them. The place was disgusting. We had to clean it up. And there was, you know what a fridge smells like after it's been unplugged for a whole week? It's not pretty. But then after that, they didn't pay the utility bills. And the electric was turned off. The pipes froze. We had 3 inches of standing water in the house. But I asked the right question. What's the question? How can I make this work for me? I made an insurance claim, and I actually got more from the claim than I needed to fix it up. So I made it extra nice, put it on the market, and sold it for almost $100,000 in profit. You have to learn to buy ugly. There's profit in that. Many of you may have seen ugly properties on your way here today. In fact, it might even be owned by the person sitting next to you. There's big profits in ugly properties once you learn how to do it, and that's what we're going to show you how to do in our training. So what's holding you back? The most common excuse I hear why people say, well, I can't get involved in real estate investing is, I don't have the time. I simply don't have the time. Look, I know we're all busy. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. But let me ask you a question. I want you to be honest. How many hours of television did you watch last month? Now, I'm not saying you have to give up American Idol. No. I'm not saying that. But consider this. The average American works 160 hours a month and watches over 100 hours of television. I know you're smarter than that, which means you're going to spend a little less time watching TV and invest some time learning how to profit in real estate. This reminds me of Deborah, who was a working mom with 3 kids who attended our training, and she asked the question, how can I make this work for me? And as a result of our training, she found this little foreclosure, ugly property, flipped it for $7,000, did it in her spare time. She only spent 8 hours on the deal. That's almost $1,000 an hour. That's more than I make as an attorney. And here's the point, folks. If Deborah could find the time, I know you'll find the time, won't you? So what else is holding you back? I don't have the money to invest. We talked about leverage, but seriously, you don't need money to make money in real estate. My first 18 properties I bought with no money and no credit. And trust me, it wasn't out of choice. It was out of necessity. I didn't have any money or credit. And you know what? Since then, I've learned to buy with no money down, and some of my best deals, and in fact, most of the properties I buy these days are still with no money down because it is the ultimate form of leverage. If you don't have money, it's not a problem. We're going to show you a dozen techniques how you can buy real estate with no money down at our 3-day training. You know, this reminds me of Charlie, one of the students who's done some extraordinary things from the techniques you're going to learn at our training. Charlie bought this house in Breckenridge, Colorado, a rapidly appreciating market. He bought it for $900,000. It was worth $1.2, and he financed it for $1 million. Now, if you're doing the math there, he actually financed it for more than the purchase price, and he pulled out $100,000 tax-free cash. That is ultimate leverage. No money down and cash back at closing. And here's the exciting part. After it's all rented, he gets 6 weeks free vacation for him and his family. Let me ask you a question. How much would 6 weeks of free vacation be worth to you and your family? A whole lot, I bet. So what else is holding you back? I don't know what to do. A lot of people are afraid to get involved in real estate because they just don't know what to do. Well, that's something we can definitely help you with. We're doing a 3-day real estate immersion training right here in your town. There are 3 dates, so there's 3 sets of 3 dates, so I know one of them are going to work for you, so write down the date that works for you. Now, what does immersion mean? What happens when you take a sponge and put it into water? It just sucks it right up, right? So we're going to take you and sit you down for 3 days and let you get immersed in all the ideas you need to immediately get started making money in real estate investing. Whatever level you're at, we'll take you to the next level and beyond. You're going to learn specifically what to buy, what properties make sense, residential, commercial, condominiums, multifamily, the specific types of deals that are working in your market. You're going to learn how to buy. You're going to learn how to analyze the numbers on a deal so you understand what makes sense. It won't take you a lifetime. We're going to give you a quantum leap in your training so you can learn how to analyze investment properties and make money. We're going to show you where to buy. Now, there are opportunities right here in your backyard. There's some great opportunities. We're going to show you where those are. But there's opportunities all over the country. There are emerging markets all over the country, and we're going to show you where those are. And you don't need to travel all around the country. We're going to show you how to do it from home. One of the best deals I've done is a property. I bought an 8-unit apartment building in South Florida. I bought it, sold it, made $155,000, and I never even saw it. We're going to show you how to do that from the comfort of your own home. And where to get the money. We're going to show you how to use leverage, how to use partners, how to get financed, so you don't need any money to get started. You don't even need credit. When there's a will, there's a way, and we're going to show you the way in our training. And most importantly, we're going to show you how to get started right now. Now, why should you get started right now? I've got 2 words. Interest rates. Interest rates are still at very historic lows. Cheap money is there, but it won't be there for long. The Fed is talking about raising interest rates again in the next few months, so don't wait. Take advantage of the opportunities and get started right now. This is Karen, who has a very inspiring story. You're going to love this story. Karen came to our training in 2004. Now, between 2000 and 2004, her income went down 70% in her business because of fierce competition. She was $100,000 in credit card debt. She was in a bad situation. She came to one of these events to get motivated. And as a result, she signed up for our 3-day training because she asked the right question. What's the question? How can I make this work for me? She saw the possibility, and it was a defining moment in her life. On her first deal, she made $7,500. Not too bad, right? But on her second deal, she made $127,000. On her third deal, she made $46,000. On her fourth deal, made over $70,000. Do you know what the difference between Karen and you is? 22 months. You know what the difference is also? She took action and decided to invest in her education so she could change her life forever, and I know many of you could do the same. By the way, your tuition for the 3 full days of training, there are 3 different dates. You can pick one that works for you. It's only $699, and that is cheap. Many people have invested in a college degree or an MBA, and that didn't teach you how to achieve financial success. You want an MBA? We'll give you an MBA, a massive bank account. When you register for the training today, you're going to take home the Success Accelerator Kit. Now, this kit's got a training manual and 4 audio CDs. You're going to take those audio CDs, you're going to listen to them in your car on the way home tonight. Start your training tonight, start profiting tomorrow. You're also going to get a second ticket and bring someone who is important to you, because the most important thing for me about my real estate success is sharing it with my wife and my family. I want you to share it with those who are important to you. Bring your spouse, bring your significant other, bring your brother, bring your neighbor, bring your boss, bring your employees, bring anyone who's important to you. The entire package is valued at $1,196. It's the best leveraged investment you will make in your whole adult life. Let me ask you a question. Would anybody be interested in attending this training if it were wholesale price today? Let me hear it. Oh boy, let me try one more time. How about below wholesale pricing? Let me hear it. Below wholesale. We've got good negotiators here. I'll tell you what I do. This is an opportunity I know you're going to take advantage of. When you register for the event today, you're going to get this entire package for only $99. There's limited seating for this event, so you must get registered today. Now, let me ask you a serious question. I asked it earlier. If you want to retire in the top 5%, what specific steps are you going to do to ensure that you're in that 5%? Here's a step you can do right now. Those of you who are the 5%ers, I want you to get up right now. You can register. If you're on the floor, you can register right here in the back and take home your training materials. Everyone is on the upper levels. If you go out onto the veranda, there's tables on every floor. You're going to take home your training manuals now. You will start your studying tonight, and you can pick